Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon. So I'll be talking about whatever maybe relate to Disney and whatnot. There's gonna be a bit of bit of a mess here, folks. I was trying to figure out how to organize this bit. That's why this video is very long. And just makes you want to wish, why just back her want to help people? I mean, really, if I were her, I would just go rogue a long time ago. I mean, really. Wow, folks, we're in for a doozy. So, thank you anybody for watching us ahead of time because this, wow. Of course, again, this is in regards of the religious folks and whatnot. And I mean, yes, as I mentioned before, on quite a few times actually, there's many different denominations of Christianity, there's many different versions of the Bible, and they're all claiming to be the real word of Jesus, which seems contradictory because only one could be the true one. But okay, well, each one's claiming that the other is the liar. But bottom line is that, of course, they want to string along their I guess fights, arguments, protests against Disney because of the LGBT and trying to tie in together the going to hell because of that. But like I said a moment ago, folks, this is a mess. This is definitely a mess here, folks. And honestly, folks, it just comes out rather convoluted, quite a bit of folks, because I went to this article, which linked up to another article, which lead up to an article, which linked up to another article, linked up to another article, which linked up to. You see what I mean? You get what I'm getting at. There's a bunch of links or whatever, trying to use as evidence to back up their claims or whatever. And each one is trying to claim that they're speaking the truth and whatnot. So, but yeah, of course, you're gonna go after the LGBT community because it's a large community, and of course, you're gonna go after Disney because Disney is definitely one of the most iconic corporations out there. And no, I'm not one of those individuals that believe corporations are evil. I believe with yes, I really believe that they do have every right to make as much money as everyone else. Same with mom and pops, mom stores, the family-owned business. They have every right to make as money as they want. Of course, it goes for everybody. I believe everybody has every right to make as much money as they want. So I'm not one of those individuals going blah 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 corporation, blah, 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 all that mumbo jumbo. That's not the case here. So I'm just going in this because, like I said, it gives me something to do talk about Disney and whatnot. And and this does these type of videos do get me quite a bit of attention. I guess you can say. Well, I get not surprising really. That's people for you. People do like drama. They're drawn to drama, to negativity or whatever. And I mean, okay, that sounds rather pessimistic from my part, but I know people are attracted to positivity, which is true. Yeah, especially when it comes to find a potential mate. If you want to marry somebody or just have a relationship or whatever, being positive can attract somebody. Oh here I am giving Daniel advice. What am I doing here? But yeah, moreover, just point being is that I do notice that people are drawn to these kind of videos. Is what I'm getting at, and I guess in some ways that's part of why I want to do this, just to expose this kind of odd behavior. Yeah, behavior. That's how you say it to others. So it just seems weird that this kind of thing's still going with these religious people. They're just going after Disney as a whole, really, especially the princess movies. Yes, we're going to talk about the princess movies again. And but yeah, let's just. So for the first thing I'll bring up real quick is that this one here, folks. The liberal communist mock parents exposing lesbian Elsa in Frozen 2. And of course, again, they want to bring up the whole argument of
Won't somebody please think of the children?
yeah, as if the lesbian people are already interested in doing something to little kids. Okay, yeah, but one acknowledged that portraying Elsa as a lesbian was sending a message to millions of kids. Okay, but but yeah, on March 5th, 2018, these two colonists, one Canadian and one English. I don't know why that needs to be brought out, but okay. Or I guess you say irritated at parents who had asked to not portray Elsa as a lesbian in Frozen 2. But newsflash, it never happened. You know, but even if it did, so what? But the article, the first one I just showed you, folks, it read that it was disturbingly misguided for parents to ask Disney to give to not be asking Elsa for the Elsa character Queen a female love interest. And I mean, okay, people want to have some type of group of people be represented in a film, or in this case animated. That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Not that she specifically has to, really, but still. And come on, just give me a break here. This is ridiculous. So the article is suggesting that how dare they want to have um, a gay thing in Frozen? How dare they demand it? How dare they get pissed off for not having it? Oh, come on, now give me a break. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a terrible thing to want representation in a film or any movie for that matter, actually. Brings up this link right here, folks, which I guess I'll talk about in just a second. So, yeah, a link uh, from the other article I just showed right here. What the hell? Alright, in that bit I just showed you, it was saying that rage is an infinite renewable source, and everyone is mad about everything all the time. So basically, trying to come up with the argument that everything is offensive. Okay, but the article what I just showed you is that they love whoever wrote the article. They love what they love about Disney is that they always have to separate good old fashioned family values, which of course they're just saying that as if gay people can't have that like at all. And which is ridiculous when you think about it. And but I'm pretty sure if there was a princess character with this kind of a body, that would basically just be catering to straight folks. Nobody would have complained. Well, okay, maybe a few might, but it won't. The outrage won't nowhere nearly be just as high, and that's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. I'm pretty sure it would happen. I mean, not that I care if they were straight or anything. That's besides the point. But what I'm getting at is this entire thing is very hypocritical. That's what I'm getting at because let's just say that we had uh maybe let's say a cross dresser. Yeah, this dude who likes to look really feminine and he identifies as a dude, but just likes to wear makeup and all that, fingernails and all that jazz, which is fine. To each their own. That's probably fine. But I'm pretty damn sure if this wasn't a princess movie and everybody accepted this character as their princess, I'm pretty sure there would be a damn uproar. Why? Because a lot of these Christian individuals are really hypocritical. Really, really hypocritical. Oh, wait a minute. Something like this actually did happen. Because in this one TV show, which was actually made by Disney and whatnot, they had the male character in this show. Yeah, it was actually in an episode where he actually was dressed up as a princess. Yes, parents complained. How dare Disney uh, put this foul material for the kids? Yep, they were thinking of the kids, and they did not put them that argument. But okay, okay. Never mind the fact that in the fourth Star Wars film that was released, Star Wars: A New Hope, in which actually has a scene where this giant death machine had destroyed Princess Leia's home planet, which technically could be considered as genocide. You will let your kids watch that? Mass murder. So mass murder is perfectly okay to watch, to let your child watch that. I mean, granted, it wasn't graphic. It was not done in a gory fashion, but you get what was implied there. You were fine with that. But yeah, of course, like I was saying a moment ago, I do believe that having a cross dresser or whatever, or something in the fear of this, I guess you can say. Oh, that's an issue. That would create a problem. Oh, okay. But again, if any of the princess characters were straight and whatnot, and have them do some stretches and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure nobody would complain. I mean, okay, maybe a few, maybe, but there won't be the upward won't be just as high. That's guaranteed. Oh boy, yeah, that's Christ Almighty, man. But anyway, I'm over here defending the princess movies, even though even though the demographic for this all women, and I'm talking about this anyway. I talk about whatever I want. It's my channel. I do whatever I want. Anywho, I'm like going back to one article I was talking about a moment ago. Okay, okay, probably two articles. I'll be specific here. But yeah, just going back to this one I was speaking about, folks. I'm just gonna be brief with a lot of these because I just want to give you the general idea when it comes to these kind of stuff. Because these articles are not very long anyway. But going back to this one, because the thing is that article out there attempts to make some condescending, sarcastic remarks by saying that yeah, there's a prince that would go around kissing random unconscious women, for example, and then there'll be this inner species relationships between some type of people and whatnot, or even mermaids or beasts, which of course to some extent is a stab towards Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the original being the Beast, and of course along with the original Little Mermaid. Because the person's trying to say, how wholesome this is all or whatever, and trying to put this in a negative context. Don't say that if you're okay with the LGBT community, then you must be okay with all those things I just mentioned, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But okay, sure, whatever. So but anyway, when according to one article I just saw a moment ago, is that so when news recently came out in Frozen 2 may be including a lesbian relationship, which by the way, I'll clear something up. It's the religious individuals that assume that the producers of Frozen 2 never confirmed anything, like at all. It was just people like them thinking that they have confirmed it, just because a bunch of fans, the hashtag give us a girlfriend. And somehow that was evidence in itself. And just because the fans want it, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Like, at all. Whatsoever. But anywho, the article goes on to say the right-wing thinking people were increasingly outraged. The individual goes on to say, can you imagine that these messages would be sent, of course, putting the argument of,
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
as if this entire thing wasn't bizarre enough. Mind you, this entire thing is going around the fact that she's a fictional character. I know technically she's a queen, not a princess, but point being is that the article brings up the fact that the voice actress supposedly confirmed in Frozen 2 that Elsa may have a lesbian lover. We'll just see where it goes. But that's a lie because case in point, here's what she said.
Elsa doesn't focus on romantic love. That's what we love about the entire franchise. Is that's not what's important. The love that we focus on is our self-love and our love between.
I mean, okay, that doesn't exactly answer anything. I mean, she's not saying no, sure. But never throw the actress any kind of critique or anything, is that actually sounds pretty bitter and hope you have. I mean, granted, I'm not in her personal life. I don't know her as a person. I'm not a friend or anything. So I'm not a relative of hers of any. No. But it just not coming out just judging from her reaction. I mean, she is married and she does have a son. But I don't know what they're going through. And I don't know if she had any previous relationship before this or whatnot. But or if she ever had any kind of relationship with any somebody from the same sex. But she's been a bit vague, and you can tell that was on purpose. What it's been seeming invasive. Why? I don't get it. They haven't throw any kind of criticism. Anyway, of like, yeah, she's aware of these types of individuals, like this article I'm talking about. She knows that these types of articles are being written. She knows she knows that there's these negative responses, and she knows there are positive responses, of course. Like, same thing for the whole cast. That was from Frozen 2, obviously, with the clip I just showed. But basically, is that it just comes off like she doesn't want to step on tippy toes. In other words, it's an eggshells. Sometimes she's based on eggshells in some respect of that, of course, in some form of that, which is odd because yes, it has gotten such a negative response. I'm pretty sure she's aware. The first Frozen film almost came out almost 10 years ago. And I'm sure she's probably aware of the fact that, yes, the first Frozen film became one of the highest grossing films of animation of all time. Same with the sequel. I'm pretty sure she's aware of that. And if I had to take a good swing at this, folks, an educated guess, I'm pretty sure she was attempting not to, harm the cells. Which, of course, is a cop out on her part, which it is. And of course, if the characters were like this and straight, I'm pretty sure the feedback will not be as negative. Of course, I mean, again, there'll be some naysayers, sure, but still, like we were saying a moment ago, if it was kind of straight people, or even like something like this, and for this nature, I mean, yes, heavy metal stuff have been heavily criticized over the years, sure, but again, the point being, the reaction will be completely different. Is what I'm getting at here, folks. Yeah, the article I just showed you a moment ago, folks. Again, it has another link right here, folks. Again, yes. Oh boy. So let me see. You can make this bigger so you can look at it. So yeah, here we go. If it's not that she's a frosty ice queen who rejects men. Again, just because you're into women does not mean you're rejecting men. That's a stereotype. It does not mean they lesbian hate women. Okay, it does not mean that. But women can love women and deserve romantic too. But how does that co-opting some more Disney LGBT heroines? Okay, it was Elsa, of course. But in case he reads right here, it would be radical indeed to watch Elsa and her lady love. Who calls it lady love? What the hell? And but yeah, yeah, it's just the whole video. I'll read this off for a quick moment. It reads, yeah, come on, Disney. Yeah, give Elsa a girlfriend, the heroine of Frozen. Okay, that part is misleading because there's two main characters. Yes, you could have two main characters in the movie. And then the article I just showed you inaccurately says the most progressive Disney princess of them all. Again, she's not a princess. She's a queen. And second of all, yeah, how's this being? I mean, okay, maybe more progressive compared to some other movies. Sure, I'll say that. And again, it says that she's a feminist icon. What? Just because because she has all these powers? Again, it's stereotyping that if you're a lesbian, you must be a feminist. That's not quite what it is, but okay. But yeah, what? Again, doesn't make any sense. The anime of Sailor Moon and the manga and the live action adaptations of these characters, I guess her friends and everybody else, most of which are all female. Except for what? Tuxedo Max, that was it. For everyone else, no female. And I don't see any of these individuals calling, oh, most progressive ever. Oh, feminist icons. Yada yada yada. I mean, of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with women wanting to have, equal rights and all that jazz. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to knock that down or anything. But it just seems like they're picking and choosing, what they want to say this or that about whatever. But it doesn't make any sense, really, like at all. It just comes out they're trying to demonize these kind of people. And the article is just kind of trying to beat you over the head that that there's some sort of agenda going on here, folks, which they're not. The, the article brings up fan art and fan art, of course, and whatnot. Again, just because it's fan art, and just because a lot of fans who say that a character's career, it does not mean the character's like that. And of course, the article I just saw it a moment ago brings up the song "Let It Go." Again, that's not what's going on whatsoever. And of course, the hashtag "Give Elsa a Girlfriend." Again, that doesn't mean it's going to happen at all whatsoever. And but yeah, just give me a break, really. It just makes no sense. And of course, the article I just showed a moment ago also brings up Snow White. The original Snow White. I don't know what she has to do with anything, but uh, apparently she's supposed to be one of the first of them all. Of the all the and talk about the storyline vaguely, I guess. Though, what does that have to do with anything? I don't know. But apparently, according to the article I just showed you just a few moments ago, all the dwarves were gay just because they all lived in the same house. Oh, I mean, okay, that's an assumption right there. And for all you know, they could have been relatives, for all you know. And but and even if that was the case, I don't see how. Okay, first of all, even if they were all gay and they're doing like a group marriage kind of a thing, and I don't see how that's the person's business. And second of all, they're fictional characters. And third of all, just because just because even if they were gay, even the dwarves from the original Snow White and some dwarves, doesn't mean all the other characters from the Disney canon is gay. That's a big assumption. And of course, the article I just showed also bring up the voice actress, Ellen DeGeneres, who was in Finding Dorothy and Finding Nemo. Again, I guess it's going on the assumption that just because she's gay, her character must be gay. That's not true. Because she's playing a fish. She's playing fish. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't any gay animals. I'm not saying that. But the film itself isn't indicating that. And again, just Christ, how can you be fine against stereotypes if you can find stereotype the character yourself? Just because the actress is gay doesn't mean the character is. Who cares anyway? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Ugh. I'm trying to wrap things up because there's okay, I'm not gonna wrap it up really because I still got a few more things to talk about. But point being, I have to move on to I have to wrap it up with this article and go to the other article because there's a few more to bring up. But Jesus, Mulan herself from the original Mulan 2 and the live action remake, were also brought up because she's supposed to be part of the LGBT community. And okay, and then the villain from Pocahontas, the first Pocahontas movie. Oh yeah, and the Squid Lady, the villain from The Little Mermaid, was also brought up because these characters are gay somehow. Again, that's just stereotyping characters, putting if anything, they're like caricatures. If anything, I guess. But just because you think there might be little hints of the LGBT with those specific characters from those specific Disney movies, it doesn't mean that that's that. Oh boy, these again. Just because one, if any, are gay does not mean the rest of these characters are. And yes, I bring up Star Wars again, folks, because it does have a expanded universe. So of course, there's going to be diverse type of characters, which a lot of the fan base doesn't seem to appreciate, which is odd when you think about it. And of course, speaking of not appreciating characters, yes, there's actually a Mexican princess, which a lot of fans don't seem to recognize really. And if they do, you get those scumbags who seem to ignore the character because she's Mexican. Donald Trump and whatnot. His supporters, like him, for example, yes, he's a religious fanatic. Of course, he takes stabs at the gays too, as well. Backlash and whatnot. So, yeah, I know there's a book of Boba Fett as well, of course, which wasn't really well received. At least not well as received anyway. But I just don't get it. Who are like these people? I don't get any of these individuals at all. Really, they're trying to just nitpick every little thing. All right. One thing I want to bring up real quick is that it's quite obvious that they don't know how. Okay, anybody who wrote any of these articles, they don't know how relationships work like at all. So what I'm about to say, I'm about to bring up, say something for real quick. Don't take me as an individual who knows dating advice. What I'm about to say next could have easily been an entire video on its own. But moreover is that just because I'm gonna mention this real quick because it just seems like all these articles I'm bringing up here, all these articles are linked up towards each other. As if I was trying to say earlier that they're trying to connect the dots. As if there's some sort of conspiracy kind of a plot going on here. But I'll get to those in just a moment. I just want to bring this up real quick. I'll say I'll bring this up for real quick because there's a bunch of other stuff I want to talk about here, folks. But okay, since I brought up Star Wars: A New Hope like a little earlier, is that okay, Princess Leia and Han Solo. These two individuals did not like each other at all. They had a rocky start. Yeah, okay, that's a bit of an understatement there. But they were by the end of Return of the Jedi, which is the third and final installment of the original Star Wars trilogy. They actually liked each other. How did it start? Well, of course, it's this thing called character growth, chemistry. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play. I mean, I guess you can say I'm skipping some stuff too because, like I said, I'm just trying to get a point here in some respects. But I mean, there's of course an expanded universe that goes into deeper into the relationship, of course, than the movies never did in a lot of ways. But when you get down to it, they'll set aside the differences and realize. I mean, granted, it's the whole idea of of one individual being in higher class society, the other one isn't. So I mean, that's kind of typical when you think about it when it comes to a lot of these romantic stories, sure. But you have to have personality, perseverance. But yeah, perseverance. If I'm pronouncing that right, there's a lot of factors that do come into play when it comes to relationships, whether you're straight, bi, gay, or whatever. Come on now. I mean, okay, sure, those two characters had a rocky start, but they managed to work somehow. If you've seen the original trilogy, you know what I'm talking about here, man. But yeah, those and the fictional characters, sure, but still, but it's so stupid, stupid. Come on, in real life, you know that hasn't happened in real life. Anyway, I'll just bring up this other article which has been linked up as well. Yes, 17. This article all but demands the LGBT kind of princesses. And okay, so what? They're not being forceful about it, but these teen magazines have lately taken center stage all over this culture. And that magazine right here, this one here, actually calls it's a communist thing. Yeah, they're saying that having a lesbian uh, princess equals to a communist like Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, or even that side of China, just for a few examples. As for that article I just showed right there, apparently it's the same thing. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, that's actually what they call it is. Cut this. Apparently some sort of communist kind of thing, which is a lie. And okay, let's argue these princess characters, whether it's Jasmine, Ariel, Belle, or whatever, any of these princesses, or Princess Anna, it's just any of them, any of these princess characters. Let's assume that okay, they're all real people. They're not, but let's just say, let's for a brief nanosecond, let's assume they're all real characters. Who are you to say who they can and can't sleep with in the bed? It's not your business. It's not your business at all. It's not your business. And if it's not being forced upon, if they're not being, if they're not redditives, if they're not being assaulted or anything, they're not being tricked, they're not being manipulative, they're not being no gaslighting, nothing like that. And they're not, it's not being done in a mean way. It's all consensual. Who cares? Why does it matter what they have between their legs? It, okay, so what? The article I just showed, I was talking about ago, it bringing that the fact that the teen magazines, whether they're publishing editorials on gun control, yeah, even anal sex. I kid you not, that's actually mentioned in the article. or even talking about the section about the LGBT in this legacy things and these magazines that used to feature mostly fashion tips and makeup hacks or whatever. They're providing the way of for a new generation for more sexually deprived than ever. And okay, here's something I'm getting tired of bringing up over and over and over. Just because you're part of the LGBT community, that in itself does not mean it's pornographic. And it's gonna be really. It does not mean it's gonna be sexually explicit right then and there, just because you're part of the LGBT community. But apparently this article suggests that making a Disney character, the princess characters, looking so yes, even it goes down to the looks. They even complain about the looks as well. Having a character looking a bit more thick, I guess you can call it. Apparently, that's a bad thing. Of course, is a jab towards the Disney movie Moana, but specifically the way her body is. Somehow, this is anti-feminine. Yeah, apparently. So you can't have a woman, a female character with extra meat on them. I personally don't mind it. What does that have to be a bad thing? So having them a bit more on the thick side equals anti-feminine? So, are you kidding? This makes no sense. Article is suggesting that is a blunt way to represent the unnatural, the highly suggestive homosexual agenda, according to the article I just showed you. I mean, what the hell? What are you talking about? You realize that women in real life do have curvy bodies. I know even those come in various sizes too. It's not all one shoe fit all kind of a thing. How is this being anti-feminine? I guess I'm extremely feminine and have a curvy body. But anyway, this article, of course, this article goes on to the fact that, uh, of course, bring up the whole argument of
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
because apparently, if you have a lesbian princess, somehow it means anti-family, anti-traditional values of the modern feminism. So they're trying to get at having a lesbian princess is anti-feminine. Is what trying to get at. So you mean to tell me that bisexual women don't exist? Okay, that's another thing I seem to always seem weird. When it comes to these anti-gay people, they never really bring up bisexuals really. But it's an agenda and that's wicked and moral, which of course is not. This article really trying to beat you over the head that it's wrong, it's unnatural, not natural. But again, it brings up, oh yeah, speaking of Moana, it brings up another, it's linked up with another article that brings up Moana. Yeah. Just because they have a princess that's not light skinned, that's more of a darker skin. I mean, the other princess characters, they came from different countries, of course. But this article is trying to argue that just because her skin is a bit darker compared to other princesses, somehow that alone means that um, more possibilities of the LGBT. What are you talking about? That article right there also brings up that song, "How Far I'll Go," which was actually a plot point in the film, and trying to argue that that's a hidden message when it comes to the LGBT propaganda. That how far can the filmmakers go? Even though, never mind the fact that it's just the character, the princess character Moana, just being rebellious. That's it. She's just being rebellious because her father has a stick up his ass, and her gram was encouraging it. And again, that article links up to another article. All right, the other article that gets brought up is that again, just because this princess has a darker skin, somehow it's just repeating it's just repeating the same thing like the article I literally just showed, like having dark tan kind of thing. And somehow this means that there's going to be an LGBT community thing going on. I mean, since when the possibilities are out there? The article just showed what the states that Disney fans have been pushing the studio for the LGBT plus uh, representation for ages. I'm okay, so what? But who cares? Why? Why is this a thing? And of course, again, it links up to the whole idea that give Elsa a girlfriend. Yeah, this shows it right here, folks. Well, yeah, some people on Twitter did a hashtag give Elsa a girlfriend. Yeah, we're going back to this again. This video is almost over, and we're going back to this again. And it brings up the fact that little article you say that brings up the fact that yes, somebody out there started this whole trend of trying to give Elsa a girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, apparently some of that's evidence of that. Some of that's proof that it's going to happen. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself here. Just because fans want this to happen in the Princess movie, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like at all. That doesn't mean that whatsoever. And yeah, just again, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these, yeah, all these articles are just linked up to each other. And then okay, some other news stuff gets right here I we don't care about. All right, well, whatever. Yeah, those are all linked up to each other, as I was saying earlier, folks. But and yeah, apparently there's evidence of this, just because Moana is a princess from some part of the world, Hawaii or whatnot. Who cares? Who cares? How does this mean that? Yeah, there's so many questions right here, folks. There's so many questions. They're trying to link up everything. They're trying to make sure, like, they're trying to connect the dots. Like I was saying earlier, they're trying to simply connect the dots right here, folks. As if there something going on here. Again, with the Star Wars thing. And I don't mind them introducing some characters because, there's a bunch of characters. You think somebody be swinging a song away. Speaking of which, Merida from Brave. A lot of people don't seem to like this movie because she doesn't want to have a marriage at all. Therefore, a lot of people assume that she's gay. Therefore, ban the movie. Are you kidding me? And same thing with the princess stuff. The princess stuff still have like various type of characters throughout, and that's great. And I do think you should continue the princess stuff. And I think that's a great thing they want to. And and they should. And of course, these individuals just want these characters to be straight, and that's it. That's really unrealistic. You think some point they're gonna be some a princess character looking at someone way catch my drift? And no, I shouldn't. It shouldn't be forced upon the writing. The writing should be good. So everything should come out with real written dialogue. All come in natural. Of course, with three-dimensional characters and whatnot, sure, but made with good execution is what I'm saying. Say the same thing when it comes to Star Wars characters. You think literally every single one's gonna be straight? I don't think so. There's a huge galaxy, a huge universe out there. Come on. So I guess in a positive way. So this is something that's really sweet, I guess you can say, with these two women who dress up as their favorite princess characters and they got married. And yes, this was actually all over the news and whatnot. And so yeah, they actually became. This was actually in a lot of news articles. I brought it up before, so I just thought it was really sweet. They actually got married like this. All right, folks. I guess that'll be it for now. Obviously, and I do appreciate anybody for actually sitting through all this. And this is almost 40 minutes in length. Because, like I said before, all these articles are linked up to each other, and I just had to go through them. And they're trying to tie in some sort of common thread. Or at least they assume to be a common thread anyway. But yeah, I just thought I'd just talk about this. It's ridiculous. Why is this still a thing is beyond me. Anyway, folks, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.